one there, and you can't see the other one. It's way up there. Well, hello everyone. I'm going to give you the date today. It's the 6th of November 2014. Pretty surprising. Can't believe the year's gone by this fast. Well, I'm in an urban environment and there's a lot of noise here. I tried to find a nice quiet spot outside. Found this little park. So I thought I'd give a really quick update here on some things that are going on. First and foremost is, of course, the Ebola thing. This is Ebola Series 4. Ebola Series 4, as everybody's calling it now. And no, it hasn't gone away, and the media is being quiet about it. I've even seen reports that supposedly the number of cases are dropping in Liberia. You know, these politicians, you can't believe anything they do, or the bureaucrats, for whatever reason. The continuity of government people, the rogue government, the underground government, and even those who supposedly represent us, who are influenced by these criminals, will give you information you can't trust. So, you know, I'm trying to keep my ear to the ground and my eyes to the horizon, as I've often said. And the medical people that I am talking to say, no, it hasn't gone away. As a matter of fact, many nurses are, in fact, actually protesting the fact that they're not being given the tools, the protocols, the necessary protective clothing to be able to handle this. And I heard from my good doctor here the other day. He called me up and he said, no, Roy, this is getting more serious, and we've received information from a very high source, and I won't give that name here. Name calling isn't a very good thing to do, or I should say name dropping. But basically reiterating the same thing that this doctor told me back, 3-4 weeks ago, that even 2 patients under our current system in a hospital that's even equipped to handle level 4, even 2 patients would begin to overwhelm the system in those hospitals. So this is still serious. It looks like more people are now finding out that this thing, you know, the semantics of airborne. I suppose medically airborne means that it could kind of live in the air, but, you know, water droplets are what they attach to, those types of things. But they were saying that it wasn't airborne, of course, because of the sneezing and the coughing, because those were actually droplets. Well, to me, that's airborne. I think it's a matter of semantics, even in the medical establishment. So I think now that that's pretty well borne out that it can be. The question is who's going to actually develop the symptoms, who will actually have an immune system not capable of fending off the virus, be it Ebola, be it TB, be it the enterovirus, or any number of other things. And that's why you know, I talk so much about keeping yourself in good shape, eating the right foods, drinking clean, clear water, getting as clean air as you can possibly get. You know, vitamin C, vitamin D, some sunshine, those types of things. And the doctor concurs with that. So while there's really no more new information about what's happening with this, other than that it's not going away, despite the fact that the media has shifted. Remember, I've said many times, and I know many of you know, that they're throwing so much stuff at us that you can't possibly keep up with it. And of course, they have this thing, and then they drop it off, and they bring this thing to your plate, then they drop that off, then they bring this thing, and they drop it off, and your mind's constantly grinding on those. And what you have to concentrate on, it's okay to keep up on it just like I do, but make sure you're making your preparations every day, you know, taking care of yourself, and spreading the word, even though there is a voluminous amount of information, and that's basically a massive attack on us. They're using the information systems to overload us, just like you would on the battlefield with soldiers. You know, mass of force is how you overwhelm the enemy, and that's really what they're doing to us. We're their enemy, and they consider it that way, and that's why these things are happening. Some of it's manufactured. You know, I'm convinced that the Boston bombing was completely manufactured. Sandy Hook now looks like it was completely manufactured. That these things were, in fact, were in fact total fabrications and staged events with actors and everything else. But that's not really what we're here for today. So the point is, Ebola hasn't gone away, neither has TB, neither is the enterovirus, or any of these things. And the fact that a lot of people do have strong immune systems at this point is a good thing. But if this thing is weaponized, as we've said that it looks like it is, because of the circumstances, then it can be manipulated for any number of reasons, and certainly scaring everybody to get a vaccine would be one way to make sure people get it. So just keep up on that and be aware that that has not disappeared, and it is still with us very much so. The next subject I want to talk about real quick was Ammon Bundy, and of course the Bundy Ranch. I guess you heard that Ammon tried to get on an airplane with his daughter to go to a family function, and he was basically harassed by the TSA to the point that he missed the plane. There were some other things that happened with him. He was apparently denied the right to buy a firearm. He was put on the terrorist list because he stood up for his rights against the American government. Not a criminal. These folks are the salt of the earth Americans. No argument about that. And so if it's happening to Ammon, it's happening to a lot of other people. And that shows that the system is still as criminal and corrupt without due process as it can possibly be. And it's in total violation of our basic principles. The government is in total violation of its own constitutional supreme law of the land. So I wanted to bring that up to make sure that you knew about it. Also, there's a situation that I wanted to bring up about the election. Of course, the election is just past us. Don't think that anything's going to get fixed. The same old rogue politicians are still there. Even the new ones are going to be basically told this is what you can and can't do. And the system isn't going to make any significant changes to benefit your life. So even though the people have solidly rejected the Obama so-called agenda, the fact of the matter is that agenda is not run by Obama. It's run by somebody else, and he's just, of course, the puppet for this entire thing. So it'll continue on. We'll get smaller doses over a length of time now, but it'll increase again very shortly under this new, supposedly people-oriented establishment, which it isn't. It's still the same old cronyism, money, power. We'll still see the same illegal wars, the same abomination of Obamacare, tweaked a little bit to look like they're doing something when they're really not. It'll all be the dog and pony show, and they'll still come after your liberties and after your pocketbook and bank accounts. Still do illegal wars and all that. So just a quick update. There's some other things I'll cover, but it's getting busy around here. There's some people that are coming by, so I'm going to move on. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the border situation. You know, that's still a very dangerous situation there. We're being overrun, basically. Our social systems, our legal systems, our ability to protect ourselves is really being hampered. You know, diseases coming across the border. Things like that. And I just wanted to bring this up because a lot of people don't have a personal friend or acquaintance who is in the Border Patrol. I do. And this person, who is a veteran, who has been in the military for several years and then joined the Border Patrol and was there for several years, has basically decided to leave the Border Patrol because he says what he has done has been for nothing. And he has seen the chaos at the border, he has seen the violence, and he has seen the government, our government, go along with what's happening with this open border situation. And he feels that all of his efforts have been in vain. So he's getting out, he's leaving. And I would say he's one of the finer officers that they've ever had. And it's unfortunate, but you know, that's when you're being honest with yourself, when you're willing to put your money and your wallet on the table for a cause, for a just, righteous reason. And he cannot go along with this anymore. So he's going to leave. So there you have it, a first-hand, well, second-hand account, but from a person, myself, who actually knows one of these Border Patrol agents. So here we go. You know, our government's more concerned about helping others than they are about helping Americans, about standing up for us. And I'm not just talking about Obama. Take it to Bush, take it to Clinton, take it to the other Bush, you know, whoever, all the way back. I put out an email some time ago to some friends referencing an article I read by Paul Craig Roberts. I included the link to that below in case you're interested. It's a long article, but all of that has to do with some of the reasons this young man, actually he's in his mid-30s now, young compared to me, has decided that this career is no longer going to be something viable for him because it's all for nothing.